The journey throughout your 20s can be interesting, to say the least. The joys, the pain, the mountains, the valleys, the tears, the growing pains, all of it. It's a journey. And 20-something lessons with the art of be. We celebrate each other, we honor each other. We learn together, we grow together. And we figure this thing called life out as women in our 20s. It's an interesting ride, but here we are taking it together. 20-something lessons.
Okay, so for me, the 20s have been about phenomenal growth. I mean, I feel like every birthday I have, I'm a totally different person than the last, but I feel like the latter part of my 20s, I'm a woman, so I'm not gonna disclose my age, but the upper part of my 20s now, I feel like I've been able to grow drastically. Like, I've been learning valuable lesson after valuable lesson, and most of them have been transformation of just, in order for me to continue to grow, I gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I have to learn that other people, whatever they do is their choice and they're going to be themselves at the end of the day, and there's nothing I can do about that. I had to release trying to be in control of everything. Once I was able to like stop trying to control everything around me, including myself in a way, I was able to be much more successful and happy. I think what I learned most of all this year though is that no matter what happens, it's happening for a reason, but I need to act with conviction and trust myself and my intuition, because there's nobody else who's going to be able to like hold me down how I can hold me down. And I think the most valuable lesson I learned in my overall 20s will have to be that, like, damn girl, you the shit. Like, you gotta love yourself. Like, I used to allow anxiety to like get in the way of my success and taking leaps of faith and, you know, just taking chances on myself. And once I let go of that anxiety and all that little chatter in the back of my mind, like, wow. So I guess my overall, what I learned from my 20s is to trust yourself and your intuition. And women's intuition is real. Don't let nobody make y'all think that it's not. It's real. Trust yourself.
Twenties taught me forgiveness of myself, unwavering to my promises to myself, and committing to goals that like I've always had in like my heart secretly, but like I never made time to really go after. Especially, I want to say, I'm 27. So I think last year, 2019, was a really interesting year for me in my 20s. I really feel like I walked into like the real favor stood up. And it was one of those like free moments where I knew who I was. I wasn't yielding for anyone. Like, I stood firm in my beliefs on my goals, the commitments to my health, the commitments I made to friends, and I was just intentional with being present. And that's something that like I learned in my late 20s, or I'm still learning in my late 20s right now. I'm 27. And it's freeing because you get to see who's really there for you, who really has your back, and you learn that you might be the person in your way. So that's something that really, 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 really changed my perspective and really changed how I flowed last year. And it was freeing. So I don't know. I really like that a lot. And forgiving yourself. That's something that like I really worked on this year with a lot of the things that like I held on personally, that like I've had conversations with God about, like, oh, I should have did this, like, God, why didn't I do that? Like, why is it taking me forever to like do certain things? And really being at peace with like where I am in my season. Like I really had to hold on to the phrase like, what is for me will not pass me. And that was like my saving grace, like in my mid-20s. So yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Brianna Dance, and something that I've learned in my 20s, it's been so many things, but I would say the importance of relationships and who is in your inner circle. I think that boundaries is something that I was not aware of growing up, but as I got into unhealthy relationships, I kind of learned like what not to do, learned the hard way. But as I got older and more getting to know myself more, then I got a chance to learn how important it is to identify who you want in your space and the roles that the people play in your life. You know, they may have been closer to you, my sandbox friend and all that, but are they adding value to your life now? And it's no shade, it's nothing, disrespectful. It's just, does this person have access, and how much access do they have? And so that's something that I'm honestly always trying to teach myself and remind myself, because, I love people and I love to share and things like that, but I kind of learned the hard way that not everybody can have the equal access to you. So boundaries is something really big that I learned in my 20s, and I hope that you can take this with you and just add that to your regimen of self-care. And what does that mean for you?
One lesson that I learned in my 20s was being the master of your own happiness and really being in control of your own self-love. And for me, that's been a lesson of really just observing people around me. I feel like our generation is really caught up in social media and getting instant gratification from a lot of different places, whether it is social media or it is a relationship or another person, that once that source of gratification is gone, you feel like you're missing something. And that's not to say that other things can't make you happy, but it's just relying so heavily on an outside source to be your happiness that once it's no longer there, you feel incomplete, or there's something missing almost, or you have to do the most to get that gratification again. And just when you are grounded in yourself and you are grounded in you're firm in your self-love and you're firm in being your own source of happiness, you don't really need that. And that took me a while to understand, and not that I felt like I had to go above and beyond to get gratification that way, but I just felt like, wow, I'm dope. Like, I'm funny, I'm this, I'm that, and I don't really need anything else to reaffirm that for me but myself. And carrying that into my 30s, which is, a couple years away, I feel like that's definitely going to just really help me stand a little taller out here in this scary world. I struggled with self-love for a really, really, really long time. And I think that I tried to navigate it in ways that were really counterproductive. And just again, where I am right now, I've realized that where I am right now, my self-love is above all. Like, next to my love for God, like learning how to fully embrace everything that is Bria is where I am right now. And I love it, to be quite honest. It's not easy, and especially, I guess, kind of fighting back against or conquering the things that I've learned that have taught me that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy, that, I don't fit in, all of those things. Learning how to conquer those things and realize that that's not the truth. The truth is that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and that God was very intentional when I was created. And so how dare I not love all of that? And so that's where I am right now, fully embracing that and getting away from putting myself in positions where I am giving other people all of that love, loyalty, honor, consistency, and sometimes the reciprocity isn't there, but giving it to them and then not giving that to myself, giving it to them thinking, well, maybe if I show up for them, they'll show up for me, and then they'll fill that void that's inside of me because I'm not giving that to myself. And that's dead now. It's done. At the end of the day, you know, who is for me will be with me, and who's not, they won't, and that's okay. As long as I truly and fully love myself, everything else will align. So here we are, 27, new age, new ride. We'll see how this thing goes.